Well, when I was a kid, we played ping pong every night after dinner, and I played with my 3 older sisters. And we loved the game, but usually the first person who would get to the table would do this stunt. I never thought of it as a stunt at all, but in fact, looking back at all the stunts I've collected, it actually is kind of a stunt. So we would start by hitting the ball up and down on our paddles like this, and then we would try to do this little maneuver right here. We'd hit it up into the air. And so on. We would try to get a little volley of ping pong balls going up like that. Now after we did this, we did another ping pong ball stunt that looked like this. We would put our heads back, and we'd get a big breath of air and go, and we'd balance the ping pong ball in a little cushion of air. And it's very satisfying to do. We would have neighbors come by, and they would try to do it, and they would fail at it because there's a little bit of a trick to it. You really have to tighten your diaphragm and get a really nice blast of air going. I was mentioning this stunt to a friend of mine, a physicist friend of mine. He said, "Oh," he said, "I know about that stunt, that ping pong ball stunt." And I'm like, "You're kidding? You know about that stunt? Like, why would you know about this stunt? That's the most ridiculous thing we used to do when we were kids." He said, "No, it's actually a very famous principle that stabilizes the ball." I'm like, "This is a famous trick?" And he said, "Yeah, come on, you know what that is. It's the Bernoulli effect." I'd be like, "What's that?" I said, "Is it important?" And then he sort of looked at me like I was a piece of chewing gum on the sidewalk. He said, "Well, yeah. It's like, one of the important scientific discoveries in the history of the world. It's the reason airplanes fly." So I thought that was great, that goofing around with something as silly as a ping pong ball could connect you with something as amazing as that. Well, another stunt that I like to do with a ping pong ball is to hit a ping pong ball into the air and then to attempt to catch it on my nose and to balance it on the side of my nose. Now this does not always work, so I'll give it my best shot right here. So I hit the ping pong ball into the air and then have it land on my head, and I'll balance it. So here we go. Again. Oh, that was good. Okay. That's actually not as hard as it looks.